Good morning. Welcome to Exposure Box. Here we are in Greenford. We've come to Greenford because in the Ealing local plan for building between 2011 and 2026, it was stated that there would be a large development of 470 homes, and that was it for Greenford. However, behind us you can see being built are 2,000 homes, 1,500 of which are for rent, 500 or so for sale, and this is and will be the largest bespoke homes rental developments in the whole of the UK. Now, some of these flats will be available later this year. However, they won't be of a level of rent that will suit housing benefits, because they'll be £1,500 a month, which is above the level that you would get for housing benefits. Also planned within this development was going to be a primary care health hub. However, that's been abandoned because the separate plan by the NHS never got funded. It was part of Shaping a Healthier Future, which was a plan started in 2012 and cancelled earlier this year. And actually the two organisations that were going to fund it will only last another 17 months before they're obliterated. That's the Hillingdon Clinical Commissioning Group and the Ealing Clinical Commissioning Group. Now, in terms of education, a two-stream primary school was planned. I can't find details on it at the moment, and of course that again will be subject to local government Ealing plans and probably national government plans for academies and free schools. Now, the point of all this is that we have a plan that was devised in 2011 which is being comprehensively trashed all over the borough. A number of us have requested a new plan, but we understand that that new plan may not appear for 15 to 18 months. So what's the point of a plan if you're not going to follow it? But what we've discovered in North Acton, and we've discovered here, and we've discovered in other places in Ealing, is that even if there were a plan that was being followed, would it result in so much devastation? The latest count for Ealing is 81 tower blocks of 10 stories or more, 16 of which are 30 stories or more, and 8 40 stories or more. And here's the planning problem for Ealing, is that each of the planning authorities, whether it's the NHS, whether it's education, whether it's open space, whether it's law and order, they're separate planning citadels and they don't talk to each other. Now, we've done some research as to, is this the case in all the other London boroughs? Well, we found out that 7 London boroughs have not got any high-rise buildings and are not planning to have any high-rise buildings. But what we don't know is whether there's any coordination, any linked-up thinking in all or any of the 32 boroughs with regard to providing infrastructure. Okay, now 2 announcements. Exposure Box has decided that it needs to get into events and it needs to involve the general public. So next month we will be doing a question time about current and future quality of life. We'll be inviting senior council officials and officers from Ealing to sit on a panel with some other community leaders, residents groups, bosses, and to hear questions and answer questions from the general public about quality of life and plans. The other thing I want to tell you is that Ealing Matters was an organisation formed 2 years ago by a whole range of community and residents groups to work together to pool information and pool resources and share common problems and common solutions in terms of maintaining and improving quality of life. And a lot of it is concerned with planning. Now, Ealing Matters had a face group for 18 months, which is quite active, but as of now, its website, whose details you'll see just further down the page after you've read this video, will contain details of all the major developments in Ealing. So we want you to use this database, contribute to it, and on this site will also be details of all the local, regional and planning guidelines, as well as feature articles on how you might respond to a planning application, how the planning system works, and trends and hints on how you might well influence the planning process. Thank you for joining us in Greenford. Join us again next week. I'm Eric Leach and this is Exposure Box.